To find your sidecars, what you do is if you're looking at a euro-dollar trade, you take your two currencies and you split them apart, euro and dollar. So here's euro and dollar, and then you add a yen to each side. So here's your sidecars, euro yen and dollar yen. Those are your sidecars. Now, if you wanted to do like Swiss to each side, you could do it. You could do euro Swiss and dollar Swiss. Those could be your sidecars. Personally, I don't think that they're as good as the yen. I think the yen is the way to go. Euro Swiss a lot of times doesn't move that much. So you're kind of taking opportunities away from yourself. The idea is to pick a triad where all three are tradable, so you can still make trades in three different currency pairs. Okay, so if we were to consider a trade in Aussie dollar, you could use the same procedure. Okay, our sidecars would be Australian dollar versus yen and US dollar versus yen. So it'd be Aussie yen, dollar yen. You could do this with pound dollar, and you'd have pound yen and dollar yen. So it's very easy to determine what your sidecars are and to determine your triad. And by the way, notice these. What I was saying was pound dollar, euro dollar, Aussie dollar. These are most of our trades are going to be something dollar related. Usually, are going to be dollar related. So this procedure applies if there's a dollar in your main currency: euro dollar, Aussie dollar, pound dollar. Even dollar Swiss, if it was dollar Swiss, you would split. You'd have dollar yen and Swiss yen. Okay, so even dollar would be first, but it would still be a dollar thing. Dollar Canada would be dollar yen and Canada yen. What if it doesn't have a dollar in it? All right, let's look at this example. Euro pound. So what I do in this case is I use the dollar because the dollar is seriously the biggest market. And instead of the yen, instead of doing euro yen and pound yen, I would split the two and add a dollar if we do not have the dollar in our main trade. All right, and that's for a couple reasons. One, this still makes it three tradable pairs. If I use the yen here, I'd have euro yen and pound yen often is not tradable due to extreme volatility and which is pleasurable to some traders. I mean, but to a novice trader, pound yen is not as tradable due to volatility and extreme spreads. Some brokers go as high as 8 pips spread on pound yen. So it's one to you don't need when you could easily be trading pound dollar, and pound dollar moves. Pound dollar is a great pair to trade. Those are my methods for determining the triads. As a rule of thumb, if my main currency pair contains the US dollar, I use the Japanese yen to determine my sidecars. If the main currency pair does not contain the US dollar, then I use the US dollar as my sidecars. Okay, so that's how you determine your sidecars when you're starting with one currency pair. Well, what if you see opportunities on, say, two separate currency pairs? Now, I didn't exactly make a slide on this one. Probably should have in hindsight. But say you're looking at euro dollar and pound dollar, okay, and they both look good for long trades, but you don't know which one to take. You're like, one is going to be better than the other. Okay, to determine your triad from two, all you do is you remove what's similar out of the two. So if you're looking at euro dollar and pound dollar, and like what currency pair connects these two, so I can get my loop, so I know which one is the better entry. And we're going to talk about using this whole process to determine which is the better trade. So what you would do is take away the dollar in this case, and you'd be left with euro pound, right? If this was euro yen and pound yen, you would just take away the yen. You would still have euro pound. Euro pound connects euro dollar, pound dollar. It also connects euro yen and pound yen. If you were looking at, say, you're looking at euro dollar and euro Swiss. If you're looking at euro dollar and euro Swiss and they both look like trend trades with clear roads up, you're like, which one of these is going to be better? If it's euro dollar and euro Swiss, what is similar between those two? Right? The euro. So you would remove the euro from euro dollar and the euro from euro Swiss, and you'd be left with dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss connects euro dollar and euro Swiss. This process of starting with two can be done with any two. You can take any two currency pairs. They have to have something similar about them, though, because obviously if you have euro dollar and pound yen, there's no one currency that's going to connect those. There's 4 different currencies: euro, dollar, pound, and yen. Triads are combining 3 currencies. So any two currencies that have one similar, you can connect those and create a triad. Okay, so here's some examples of some triads. Okay, we've talked about these. We've got pound, we've talked about euro, dollar, dollar, yen, and pound yen. Then there's pound, dollar, dollar, yen, pound, yen. Aussie dollar, dollar, yen, Aussie yen. I mean, you get the pattern here. Dollar yen is a pivot for a lot of triads. I mean, obviously, because I like the dollar and I like the yen. Because we like the dollar and we like the yen, it's going to be a pivotal currency pair, and it is in a lot of them. So anything that has Aussie dollar, pound dollar, euro dollar, dollar Canada, dollar yen, Canada yen, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, uh, Swiss yen. Okay. Euro pound, you break those up at a dollar, euro dollar, pound dollar. You could also say euro pound, euro yen, pound yen. These are all closed loop triads. Dollar Swiss, euro Swiss, and euro dollar.